Hello, viewers, and welcome to Radio Dwarka's chat with the New Age entrepreneurs. New Age entrepreneurs keep up coming with new ideas, new thoughts, and innovative spaces. In the same series, we have today with us Prakhar Pandey. He is the CEO and co founder of a wealth tech platform called Moolaah. Prakhar is an MBA from the SP Jain School of Global Management. He has an experience of around 6 years, and this venture has actually got him accolades because he's won the Business World 30 Under 30 award recently. So, welcome Prakhar to the show. It's really nice to have you today with us.
Thank you, ma'am. Lovely speaking to you. And I think what you've been doing is something wonderful as well. So it's completely likewise.
Thanks, Prakhar. So, Prakhar, how do you feel about this venture of yours? And really, first, we would like to understand that what is Moolaah? What is this platform, and how did this name come about?
That's a sweet story, to be honest. The company's idea came in 5 years back. So I was in fact working abroad and wanted to do something which could change the financial landscape, certainly in a manner which no one else has thought of. It started with a simple idea that since I was working in Singapore, I could see that the digital penetration towards managing your own investments were fairly higher compared to what was happening in India. But when I came back, I had joined my family business, and of course, there were multiple things that were going on at that point of time. So it got delayed in its own way, and possibly we were also the idea was fairly well ahead of the curve, that I could understand that people would not take it in the same manner as we would want them to. The word moolah means money. It's a Latin word which basically means anything and everything revolving around money. And I think I was surprised also that no one has taken this name. No one has, and since it's very catchy, it is something which comes into people's minds immediately. That's how the name came out to be. And I was thinking over. Like every other entrepreneur, that what brand name should be there, and rather than doing a branding exercise with a marketing agency, I spent all my time in understanding that, and I think me and my fellow team members, we brainstormed that idea and then validated it with multiple people. The idea is basically very simple. That came into execution, and we've been doing that since the last 16 to 18 months now. The company basically provides you a B2B2C service, whereas as a retail investor, I get an access to all the wealth managers in and around my area, or even in a different area, on a non-geolocation basis as well. So it's an aggregator platform for wealth managers. A retail investor can choose any wealth manager for himself, any one or as many as you want to, and they will tell you what is right for you in terms of investment. So whether you should take mutual funds, you should take equity, you should take foreign equity, you should take debentures or bonds, they will tell you what is right for you as per your risk profile after doing your KYC. So everything being in the regulated periphery of SEBI, and making sure that the suggestions are given by them merely as suggestions, not as actual investments. The execution, then of course the investor does it on their own. The best part about the platform is that the execution can be done with any and every execution partner available in the market. So if you already have an account with Zerodha, or if you already have an account with an HDFC Securities, you don't need to open another account with us and do the entire piece in terms of validation. We automatically make sure that you can punch in your ID, you can log in, and then you can execute the transaction on your own. So what it helps you in is collating all different portfolios from different wealth managers. You will have something with Zerodha, you'll have something with Upstocks, you will make having something with your own distributor. You can collate your entire portfolio at once. So what happens is at night at 10 o'clock, when everyone wants to see what is the mark to market on your phone, you can see it at 10 p.m. Okay, this is what my portfolio looks like, and who had suggested me what, and which wealth manager should I speak to about my existing investment or new investment also.
Prakhar, in India, people still believe in talking, seeing a face. So do you think people are accepting an online model?
So I'll tell you, people are accepting digital payments. There are digital investments also which are happening fairly well, and the major reason for that is the kind of digital infrastructure that has been created in the last 5 to 7 years, and it has been tremendous. Companies have done really well, but the only issue with is in India with retail investors, which is one of the biggest issues which I think all of us will face, is that we don't trust platforms immediately. We take time to build our trust and anything, and we have seen so many phishing scams which have happened in the past. that we don't want to be a part of them. So any kind of digital investment we make, we have to cross verify. We need to see whether everything is right or not, and we also need to see whether they're regulated by the necessary body as well. And then tomorrow, in case my money doesn't come back, so how will I? What steps do I need to make?
What is Phygital, if I have to ask you?
So basically, Phygital means the wealth manager will be speaking to you on a platform. On the platform, we have our own CRM, so there you have a chat service. You can definitely speak to them directly as well, and we have a service where you can make sure that the wealth manager is in constant touch with you. So what happens is the investor will never feel as if he's being left out by not knowing who that guy is. I've not spoken to him. You schedule a meeting with him. It's like scheduling anything on Practo or on Urban Lab, where you schedule a meeting. He will come and do the entire analysis for you. He will do the KYC, he will do the risk profiling. He will not come and meet you face to face. Everything is digital. But the physical piece is that there is an intermediary who's making sure everything is being done, rather than saying that it is happening on the platform and you don't even know where your money is going. So he will hand hold you with everything. That hand holding will make sure that tomorrow, whatever parts were there, he can complete for you itself. And then over and above that, what happens is digital model means is where the portfolio has already been invested into. Now, what after that? You want to make sure that there are constant checks with the wealth manager, that my returns are these. Now I think the markets are going up. What should I do? So those constant checks also require those kind of meetings or those kind of video interfaces or casual interfaces with the wealth manager.
Okay, I can see that passion in you. I'm sure the 5 years of effort that's gone in is really showing in the conversation. So I think my question is going to be that how was the support that you got with when you thought of that idea? Because you said was it acceptable? Was it something that really pushed you down? Anything that you have to talk about it?
So actually, we in our family business also we thought that as an industry everything is ever changing, and we are seeing a big change in the cycle that is happening now. The new world of fintechs are completely depleting the involvement of an existing institution itself. So there are multiple institutions in the market which are getting, I'll say, devoid of their kind of service which they were providing, because the fintechs are lowering your costs and lowering the time taken as well. So these days, loan syndication activities are now happening in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Earlier, you need to wait for at least a week for the due diligence to take place. So, fintechs have evolved. That's where I also thought that we also have to shift our business models. So, the first business model came in with wealth, and that's why we came up with wealth tech in Moolaah. And then parallelly, we have started building on multiple fintech businesses in different streams also. So we have developed a fund tech arm. We're looking for a one platform also. We're parallelly doing something on the institutional side as well. So making sure that the FS group becomes a fintech powerhouse. And being honest, the kind of support which I've got because of the existing piece that we already had, though we were fairly small, but that gives you the luxury of learning as much as you can do. And that has helped me across multiple businesses, because probably I've seen each and every industry in financial services. I've been a part of DCM, which is debt capital market. I've been part of investment banking and private equity. I've also been part of fund management. I earlier have been part of loan syndication. Then now I've also been involved in wealth. So seeing these multiple fee-based activities, you've seen what is happening in the market, and you've been able to grasp that knowledge. So that support and ecosystem came in very handy. And the team members have been fairly supportive. Most of them. I'm the youngest in my organization, so my age is as much as their experience, to be honest. So I sometimes do feel like a kid in front of them, and they have been very supportive and communicative as well in terms of making sure that I can grasp everything which they have done.
Did you have a challenge having customers or having service providers on your platform?
Definitely. I think there is this challenge is faced by all entrepreneurs, if not most. And the challenge was to make sure that they can trust you. So and that takes time. So we have had that challenge.
Any
We
trick
still
that you
face.
used which you would like to share?
We've been see all entrepreneurs know this, but I think it has to be reiterated to all of them is that we all are focusing on one particular piece without thinking about the kind of cost that we are making at acquiring that customer. So the customer acquisition cost is fairly high for most digital businesses, and that's what leads to I'll say closure, or that's what leads to a different kind of scenario where you're not able to take it ahead because your costs you're not able to sustain, and then you have to take further on funding from investors to sustain those cash losses. And if you're not able to sustain those cash losses, then you have to wind up your shop. And if you're able to, then you keep on doing that VC path of growing and making sure that the growth is there so that you can show a larger gross market value, which is GMV in this business.
If I have to ask you, Prakhar, and because there are many more youngsters who are looking forward to be one of the future Prakhars, maybe. So, what are the five or two, three, you know, what are the tips that you would like to share with them if somebody is looking to be an entrepreneur? One, four, five things, or a couple of things, whatever you wish.
First and foremost, I think I definitely don't think that I've reached any level, to be honest. But even if that is where someone would aspire to be somewhere here, I think for first and foremost, it always has to be that don't think of your age as a number which can stop us. I think a lot of us are forced down by the fact that we don't have enough experience, and that experience will always be valued in some form or the other. So first get experience and then do businesses. But we look at founders like founders of Zepto. They are 18-year-olds, drop out from their first year of college. Those guys have built a $250 million business in a time span of 18 months. So I think age is just a number. Eventually, we should do whatever keeps us happy, and of course, make sure that if we have an idea, go and execute it. Worst case scenario is it will not work out, but in fact, the best case scenario would be looking at it in the form that I actually did something about it, and I have learned it that way. That either it will make you profit, or it will lead to learning. There is no losses in being an entrepreneur. So those learnings are always helpful in terms of doing something else in the future, and that's something which is first. Secondly, of course, I think the hustle has always been there, at least with me, and I think that hustle is fairly important, that we capture that cycle of hustling as much as we can and build it out, because these are the first 10-12 years where we can make or build pieces. Post that, you have fair share of responsibilities which will come to everyone, and those share of responsibilities always lead to something or the other. So this is the period of luxury which we can enjoy in terms of building what we want to later on, and of course we can capture the value whenever we feel like. That's I think those two things, if we can follow, I don't think so you need any other kind of motivation to do or to do anything else. I think finding a very good team is also important, and that comes in when you are building something like this always. So being passionate about it is something is which is fairly important.
I'm interacting with a lot of entrepreneurs now, and I think that's the common thread that I see across. The passion for their own ventures, that's extremely high, and I think that goes unsaid. You can only succeed if you really love or trust something. So that's where it is. So thanks a lot, Prakhar. It was really nice talking to you and knowing about. To all our viewers, it's a way to understand what Moolaah is doing. You can understand what Prakhar has done in his journey to reach where he is today, and definitely, I'm sure it is just the start for him, and he is there here to grow as much as he can. And we wish him luck and success in whatever things that he does in future. And for all our viewers, stay connected with Radio Dwarka. If you've not subscribed to our channel, definitely subscribe, like, and comment. Share what you want to see on this, and we will be there coming up with those ideas for you back. And also, if you have any of your friends whom you feel need to be featured on this platform of the New Age Entrepreneurs, definitely share back their inputs, and we will reach out to them. Looking forward for such interactions with other entrepreneurs, and stay connected. Thank you.